Hello Flosstube! My name's Natalia and this is my channel OfficialMermaidsCove, where I share my love of cross-stitching. To my returning subscribers, welcome back. To anybody who stumbled across my channel, hopefully I have some things to share with you that you'll be interested in today. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a WIP parade. So this is the WIPs that I currently have. I did some new starts at the beginning of the year, and for 12 by 12, which is 12 new starts every hour leading up to New Year's. Excuse me. Whew. Excuse me. So I wanted to do an updated WIP parade, and I also didn't get a chance to do one at the end of 2024, so this will be my end of 24, beginning 2025 WIP parade. I'm going to try to go to my largest WIPs to my smallest WIPs. I was going to do by oldest, but I kind of have them a little bit out of order. I could try... No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go based off largest to smaller WIPs. Some of the WIPs I'm currently working on, I don't have necessarily an actual stitch count on, so the ones that I'm not sure about as far as the stitch count, I will leave towards the end. So we'll start with my Haid. I started a Haid for... I can't remember the exact day I started it, but oh no, I must have started it in 2024. At the end of 2024, I started Selena Fenech. It is a Haid. I bought it in 2019. It is based off artwork by Selena Fenech. I'll insert a picture so you can see. However, unfortunately, all of the patterns with Selena Fenech's artwork have been retired from the Haid site. So this is a retired pattern. You will no longer be able to purchase it through Haid. I believe Geeks has taken to they've licensed Selena Fenech's artwork. So they have been charting some of her pieces, but I have not seen this one charted as of yet. If you want to submit that request with them, you could. It was called Selena Fenech on the Haid website, and you should have seen a picture of it by now. The stitch count for this is 374,850 stitches. So I got like 1,000 stitches in to start. I started at the left bottom corner. I am stitching this on 28 count even weave 2/110 stitch, and I started off with the black color because I figured that was a good way of like starting. I have like lazily gridded this. I did the outlining stitches and I did a center line up and down and across, and then I outlined some of the page breaks. But I have not fully gridded this. I don't know if I'll change my mind on that, or if I'll maybe stitch this a little bit differently so I can still see the grid lines as I stitch. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how I go with that. But this is where it currently stands. I think this is like 0.3%. It is a pretty big pattern. I started this for hashtag finished before I'm finished Sal by Dailen on Instagram and Flosstube. She encouraged me to start a BAP. She's starting her own BAP, and this finally gave me enough gumption to try, because I had the chart for so many years, but I felt a little intimidated by the size. But I'm giving it a go, and we'll see how we move along with that. The next one is another one that I started here recently. It's called Disney Princesses. It's a chart that I bought off of Etsy. I can insert a picture here. And I'll try to put the information that I have about who charted it in my description below. This one is 292,500 stitches. I started this one for Princess Birthday Sal, hashtag Princess Birthday Sal for Allison from CrossStitch the Globe. She was opening up to stitch on anything princess related, so I decided this one would be a good one. I've done 1,000 stitches on this one as well, 28 count as well, and I'm doing it 2/110 as well. I only did the outline grid, and I think I did mess up somewhere in here, but I made a note of it, and I'll see it when it comes up. This isn't even like the first princess. I think the first one is Mulan. There's 12 princesses in this. Definitely another big one. I think even with the 1,000 stitches, that only brought this one only marginally closer than Selena Fenech, and it's at 0.4% right now. So we have that one. The next one, I don't have to insert a picture of this one. I can show you. This is my Gecko Rouge kit. This is a kit I bought off of the Gecko Rouge site. It's based off of artwork by Dailen Ogden. and it's called Dracarys. It has Daenerys and her 3 dragons. I'm stitching this on 28 count even weave. And it's a gridded even weave, and I'm doing it 2/1 tent, like my other ones that I showed. It's got pretty good coverage. I've already stitched the corner motifs up at the top and the first 3 flame motifs in the middle and moved it down. I've been stitching on the dragon, and I did a little bit of stitching of Daenerys here in the center. Yes, this one is at 32% currently, so I've got a good chunk in. I stalled on stitching on this at the end of 2024, and I would like to get back to it, so I'll see if I can incorporate it more into my stitching here. The next one that I have is Persephone. I can insert a picture here. This is based off of artwork by Chrissabug. I bought the chart off of Thread Geeks, and my sister was nice enough to help me dye a piece of fabric for this. I am doing a crop. I don't want to stitch all the background. I'm not doing a crop on the other 2 BAPs that I showed you that were full coverage pieces, just because I do want the full picture. This one I did crop the background, so instead I decided to stitch it on a dyed piece of fabric. This is another 28 count. I'm also stitching this 2/1 tent, and I have stitched the center ribbon in her robe, and I think this only got like 500 stitches in. I did mess up with the gridding on this one. I'm kind of just trying to stitch from the center out to find where the edge of it is, and then try to redo the gridding based off that. Stitching in the black again to try to help better keep where my spot is, and hoping that I don't mess up my count too badly. So I'm really excited to have started that one. That one, well, I'm sorry, I don't think I gave you the stitch count. So for Dracarys, the stitch count was 224,058 stitches. And I'm at 32%. For Persephone, the cropped stitch count is 89,129 stitches, and I currently have her at 6%. So I only did 5,000 stitches, and it's still more than the first 2 BAPs. Oh, goodness. Okay. The next one that I have to show, I will insert a picture for this one as well. I'm also doing a crop for this. This is the first unconventional cross-stitch chart I've started. It is called Cauldron of Myrrh. This is based off of Ivy Dolamore's artwork. And I am stitching it on a 22 count hard anchor fabric that I dyed. I'm stitching this one also 2/1 tent. And this is where I've gotten so far. I think this is maybe 1,000 stitches, give or take. Or maybe not 1,000 stitches. No, this is not 1,000 stitches. So maybe, I'm not sure how many stitches this is. Maybe 500? But I know that I do have this at 1.3%. So I think this fabric looks really nice, and I'm looking forward to stitching that. The crop stitch count for this is 45,365 stitches. So one that I'll probably be finishing sooner than the other ones. The next one I have is a kit. This is Angel of Elegance. I believe this is my oldest WIP. I think I started this one back in 2021. It has 31,592 stitches based off of when I uploaded it to Pattern Keeper. That does not count all the back stitching and all the additional stitching that is not like cross stitching. This one is currently at 6%. This is what it looks like. Angel of Elegance. It's the Dimensions Gold kit. And this is where it's currently at. I did do some stitching on it over this Christmas. I typically only stitch on it around Christmas time, and I don't do a bunch of Christmas stitching, so I had the sleeve partially stitched, and then I went ahead and went down with the fur here, and I did some with this green. And maybe, yeah, looks like some of this grays I brought down too. This is being stitched on 18 count Ada that came with a kit, 2/1 block. The next WIP I have is Circle of Friends. This was one of my 12x12 starts. So here it is. This is Mirabilia Circle of Friends. I'm planning on changing the skin tone and the hair color, but everything else will pretty much stay the same. The stitch count I have when I put that into Pattern Keeper was 21,085 stitches. I'm stitching this on a Picture This Plus fabric in the colorway Fathom. This is a 28 count linen. And this is where I'm at. It's a very pretty green mottled linen. Looks like they're dancing in the forest. And I got the center ladies dress. I started at the center for this one. I only have like 50 stitches in. I think that's the limit that I put for myself for the starts. I usually consider 100 stitches in a start, but since you only have an hour to stitch it up, and I usually take some intentional time to start my projects so that I start them in the right place and I don't lose track of where I'm at. Currently at 0.2% with 50 or so stitches. The next largest WIP is a new one. If you have not received your mermaid box from Out of Lane Stitchery from 2024, I would look away now. This is part of that box, and I wouldn't want to spoil anybody's surprises if you're still waiting for your package. I have the pattern to show right here, so you'll see what it will look like. Very pretty mermaid. It's the mermaid Mirabilia. And actually, I might keep this off to the side here. I have stitched her on the called for fabric. I think in the box was included a kit for this. So the kit, the called for is Crystal Splash. Well, I chose the opalescent option. Obviously, you can get it without opalescent, but it's Crystal Splash, 28 count linen by Picture This Plus. And I am stitching this 2/2. I started in the center where her tail is. So I got 50 or so odd stitches here. The fabric is really beautiful, very sparkly. So it's about right here on her tail. So that's another WIP. You know, I love my mermaids, and I insist on having an Autumn Lane Stitchery mermaid on the go, as long as they have mermaids I haven't stitched yet. And she's going to be sparkly. These are all the metallics called for. And she does have some beads too, so looking forward to working more on that. The next WIP is my Periwinkle Mermaid. This is a pattern by Cat at Whittier Stitches. I believe it is for sale now. I will insert a picture here. I started this on Crystal Jazz 16 count Ada by Picture This Plus. It's another opalescent fabric. I have stitched a lot of the seaweed and some of the tail. And I guess this streak would be in her hair. I think maybe I use that as like a guideline to mark off the center. So this is where I'm at on this. Currently, my pattern keeper shows that I'm at 8.7%, so almost 9% on this. I think I could maybe stitch this in hand and it would help me out. There are some quarter stitches though, so I just have to keep track of those as I go. But yes, I really like this one. I do want to get more work on this as well. So I'd like to get back to that. The next one I have is Mermaid of the Pearls. This is a Mirabilia. I don't believe I have the pattern here to show, so I will insert a picture. I am stitching this on a 16 count Ada that I dyed. I'm thinking the fabric is what's making this take so long. It's pretty dark. It has some very nice effects, you know, with the, she's gonna look beautiful on it at the end of the day. But I also experimented with like some spray paint, and I think it closed up some of the holes. It's just been interesting trying to work around that and stitch on this fabric. But I am still plugging away. I do want to get more progress on her, so I'll have to maybe make it more of a focus this year. The total stitch count on Pattern Keeper that I have for this one is 17,403 stitches. I'm currently 10% of the way in, so that's not a bad start. The next one I have is a Forbidden Vibraco piece. I believe I do have the pattern to show. This is a pattern from Forbidden Vibraco called Be Well. I'm stitching on the called for fabric, 32 count Winter Sparrow dyed by Forbidden Vibraco. And I believe I stitched on it some today, and it should be almost at 13%. We have the well done, and I'm stitching on the heart right now. These colors are beautiful, and they're popping off of this fabric. I'm looking forward to getting more done on this. It's been a very nice, pleasant stitch. Every single Forbidden Vibraco pattern that I stitch on has been just really nice to stitch on. And I'm stitching this, I said it was 32 count, and I'm doing 2/2. With the called for DMC, and then I'm using one of the specialty colors. Let me see if I can actually show it, because it really does look very interesting. I think I messed up a little bit, and I got one skein, and I maybe needed two, but what I think I'll do to remedy that is I'm going to maybe just do the top stitch in this, and I'll have enough. It's called Beautiful Noise. It's their 1034 color, and it's got some really pretty variegation. It goes from like reds to grays to blues. It's got some very different color play in there. And this is 6 yards. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting more progress on this. This is for a gift stitch. My mother asked me to stitch this for a friend of hers, so I will make it a priority to get more progress on that. The next WIP that I have is Sweet Summertime. This is from A Time for All Seasons by the Cottage Garden Sampling Company. It's their pattern. I can insert a picture of what it looks like here. And I'm currently stitching it on a 36 count Folia Morte by Bestitch Me. It's a linen. And I'm stitching it 1/2 full cross. I really love this fabric. I always get really nice compliments on it. It looks really, really beautiful. I definitely recommend Brandy's fabrics. Her floss is really nice too. I have some of her silks that I've stitched with. So I would definitely go check it out here if you want to see the card a little bit closer. I don't know, it seems like Picture This Plus is a pretty good staple. I don't think I need to go back and show you that card, but if you're interested in this particular color, that's what the card shows. Okay. That one, I cropped it down some, and I'm going to do a conversion. Based off of that, the stitch count is... Oh, did I say the stitch count for the Be Well pattern was 8,894, so just under, that's around 8,900 stitches. And I don't think there's any backstitch in that pattern, and I did say it was at 13%. Sweet Summertime has, with the cropped version and the conversion I'm doing, has around 6,371 stitches, and it's at 33% currently. The last time I stitched on it, I think I filled out the rooster's tail feathers. I'm not in a hurry to stitch that, it's just an enjoyable stitch, and I'm enjoying taking my time. The next one is another Forbidden Fabrico pattern. This one is so the chart is called Unfortunate Souls. It says Poor Unfortunate Souls, and this is based off the Little Mermaid. I think I have enough space on the fabric they gave me to stitch it twice, so I think I might try to do that. I've gotten a small start on it, not something super big. It is the called for... What does this say? It's in the colorway Love Potion, dyed by Forbidden Fabrico. And it is also Forbidden Fabrico threads. I bought the kit. So this is where I am so far. The stitch count for the pattern is based off Pattern Keeper, 4,824 stitches, and I'm 4% of the way. Another one I like stitching in hand, and I have to get more progress on. And did I say what? I think this is 16 count beta. Yeah. Okay, the next one, I can insert a picture of this. I'm stitching the Cardinal Biscornu by the Tiny Modernist. I have a pretty good start. I'm keeping it in this cute little Haku bag. So this is where I'm at so far. I've outlined the two pieces of the Biscornu. And I've got the corner of one of the squares. The other square is going to have ornaments, as you should have seen in the picture. And I haven't done any of the back stitching yet to outline it, but you can already see the bird sitting out on the branch and the berries and the ornaments around him. This was stitched on 16 count Grace Notes fabric in the colorway Mary. It's very pretty. I was concerned that the brown was going to get lost, but then it's popping, and so are those reds. They look really nice on the fabric, so I'm very pleased. I did actually count the backstitch in this pattern. So including the backstitch, the stitch count comes up to 3,620. That does not include the stitching to fully finish it and do Biscornu, but I'm just going to count the backstitching for that. The next one is the sal that I'm doing with my friends from Stitch Florida. We are doing, let me see if I can find it in the wave of bags I've been sticking over here. Oh, it's right here. So we are stitching on Sweet Wing Studios' The Noblest Part. It says, friendship above all ties does bind the heart, and faith in friendship is the noblest part. And it says it's a quote from Roger Boyle, 1st Earl of Orrery. I currently finished stitching part 4. I have to send it on to the next person. We split it up into 6 parts, and we're each stitching on a part. So it still has some floss drops here and the little line of dots of colors like it does at the top, and some more words down here. We're also stitching this on 16 count erasing fabrics in the color Mary, and it looks very nice. We've been having fun doing this out together. That pattern, just based off that one, for example, is around 2,940 stitches, and I'm currently 74% of the way in. Okay, the next one I have is Twilight Mermaid. This was a 12 by 12 start. This was from the Under the Sea Fabrics Mermaid box from 2023. It is a meridian design, and I am stitching it on the called for fabric, which is Nephili, opalescent Nephili, dyed by Under the Sea Fabrics. And I have started on the pink, which is in her tail here. And that's as far as I've gotten. I have enough fabric to stitch this twice. So I'm thinking I'll do the same thing I did with the Bella, and when I finish stitching this, I'll go ahead and put this as a giveaway with the other second half of the fabric, and I'll decide if I'm going to source the beads from Stash again, or I haven't decided if I want to use the treasures or not. It has 2 drops. I don't know that the pattern necessarily needs it, but if you're interested in doing that, I might just include that with the giveaway as well. So that might be an earlier giveaway in the channel that you'll see. This is 16 count Ada. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And I'm stitching at 2/2, or 2/1 block of Ada. I'm not sure if Meridian Designs has released that pattern. I think somebody told me that Bella Filipina usually makes it a habit of not releasing exclusive designs that they include as part of a box. I don't know what Meridian Designs policy is on that, so you might be able to find the pattern. I would search it and see if you're interested in that. The next one I have to show, I'll insert a picture. I'm participating in the Woodland Winter Sal by Autumn Lane Stitchery. They were starting it on January 5th. At the start of 2025. It's going to be a 5-part sal with weekly releases. If you're interested in participating, I would highly recommend that you go to their store and buy the pattern, because they're not guaranteeing that it's going to be available after the sal's over. And it is very, very cute. I'm usually not like I don't stitch a lot of Christmas stuff, but this is more like winter themed, and it's starting to get cold here, so it's very appropriate. Unfortunately, I have made a mistake. I stitched this on a 22 count blue Ada. I did not pay enough careful attention to the pattern. If you notice, this is an oriented fabric, right? There's one side that's longer than the other. Well, this is actually supposed to be oriented this way. So I had put like, I don't know, like 400 stitches into this. Not quite 400 stitches, and it's all gonna have to come out. So I'll be frogging 1/1 on 22 count Hardinger. So I'll send out some nice thoughts my way. I'll probably do that tonight, so that way it won't hold me back next time I want to work on this. But I do like the colorway. These are the colors. that they've called for on the thread list. I think it's going to look really nice on the fabric that I picked, and I'm looking forward to the new parts that they're going to release. I like everything that they do, and they say that if this one, you know, works out well, they might do more. So I'm all for encouraging them to do more. I'm currently keeping it in this little stitch bag my husband got for me. It's so cute. It's an Impressions. I'm not familiar with that brand, but it's a very cute clutch. It has a little additional pocket on the inside to hold notions and stuff. So that one, for the part 1, it was going to be at like already 15%, but I have to redo it, so started back at the draw point. I think the stitch count for part 1 was like 2,511 stitches. So it's not too bad for a week's worth of stitching. So if I get it all picked out, then I can recover fairly quickly. The next pattern I have, I can show you a picture. I found this while thrifting, and my husband requested that I finish it for him. This is called Sky Hunter. It is a color charts pattern based off of Richard Luce's artwork, I'm assuming. Or is he the person who charted this? It says about the artist, so I'm assuming he did the artwork. Maybe he also charted it. It is a paper copy. It is a little beat up. The person who stitched on this before, because it was pre-started, had a lot of mistakes that I've been trying to work around. I finally decided to just crop this. I'm not going to stitch this terrain at the bottom. It's very confetti heavy and kind of confusing. I am just going to stitch the bottom row of clouds here, and you will still be able to see the person standing on the hill here. So I already stitched a little past when I decided to do the crop. So where you see this line here, that's where I'm going to be ending off at. This side is done as far as what I'm going to be stitching, and then I'll be stitching up this side. This is like the center line right here, and then there's another half of the cloud line and maybe a little bit of the train that I'll have left to stitch. It does officially have under 2,000 stitches left to go to finish the portion that I want to, and then I'll have to do the back stitching, and then I can consider this complete and maybe find a frame to put it in for my husband. For the portion that I actually put into Pattern Keeper to finish this, the stitch count was 2,318 stitches. I'm currently 17% into doing that stitch count. So I'm looking to hopefully make this finish for this year, so I can stop stitching on it because I'm not enjoying it anymore. But I do want to finish it for my husband. This was another start for my New Year, my 12x12 sal. It was something that one of my friends sent to me in the mail as a gift. Thank you very much. You know who you are. I didn't get the permission to mention them. But this is The Magic of Winter by Cardinal Hill Stitches. I am stitching this on a 16 count Ada from Stash. They were nice enough to also include the color and cotton threads in there. And I did a small start of like 50 stitches or so in the center. 2 over 1 block of Ada with the threads they included, which I guess are the called for color and cotton, and I just stitched part of the snowman. So not a big start to it. Currently only 3% in to that. It's going to be really small, it's going to be really cute. I have more fabric, so maybe enough to stitch it again, we'll see. I was thinking of maybe adjusting the pattern though. I have a friend who has a Chihuahua, and I'm seeing maybe if I could make pointed ears instead. This would like be really nice to give to them. Oh, I'm wondering, do they call for beads? It's hard to tell. I don't know why, but those snowman buttons look like beads. I'll have to read more into that to see. Okay. The next one, it's technically a finish, but I'm still stitching on it to fully finish it. This was a freebie that the Blue Flower provided for people who attended Jiggle Ball in 2024. It's called the Festive Fruit Bat. I finished it. It's a little fruit bat hanging off of a candy cane with the Santa hat on. And I want to make it into a little pillow, so I've already started stitching a second piece of Ada to fully finish it. And I might write, you know, Jingle Ball 2024 on the back of that. So technically I have it on my list. It is a finish, but just because I'm still stitching on it, I just have it on my list so I don't forget about that. The next one we have is Wintry Wolf. This one does not technically have a stitch count. I think I estimated, just eyeballing it, this is not really an accurate count, of 6,000 stitches. This is a stamped cross-stitch kit from Dimensions. It's an embroidery, it's on embroidery cloth, and you have to use like a sharp needle to stitch on this. So it's been a little interesting to work it up. I don't think my stitches are looking super neat, but so far so good. I stitched on this portion last time, and the last time I stitched on it, I did this. So I'm trying to remember to work on it here and then. My sister gifted this to me, so I do want to keep getting progress on it. I don't want to put it away, but see if I figure out a better method of stitching on that. If I'm assuming it's 6,000 stitches, I'm like at 2%, 2.4%. It's not too much into that. Another one, okay, so the next 6 are secret stitches. I do not have charts to show you for these, but I will share them with you. One moment. These are all going to be about 1%. I'm estimating the stitch count to be like 5,000. Maybe that's overestimating it. But we'll just go with that. And they're all about at 1% because I only did like 50 stitches on each of these. These were 12 by 12 starts. And I will start with this one. Again, I don't have a picture of a pattern to show you, but I can show you what I've stitched on so far. I'm stitching this on a 22 count heart hanger that I have dyed myself. This goes like this, and I am stitching it 1/1 using Mosale silk floss. This is in the colorway Rainbow Set Color 8. I'm really enjoying working with Mosale silk. I got a lot of that for my Christmas presents this year, so I'm excited to start using them. It's got itty bitty stitches. So the more I stitch on that, and I don't mind sharing my progress, it's just not going to be, you're just maybe not going to know what it's going to end up looking like at the end of the day. So just bear with me on that. The next one I have to share is stitched on an 14 count Ada that I also dyed. I am stitching on this using a spool of Mosale silk in the colorway Off-White. I have 3 motifs stitched on it so far. So that's where it looks like now. So that's where this one's at. The next one I have to show is stitched on a 32 count Belfast linen in the colorway Heritage by Pictures Plus. I'm stitching on it 2/2 with another Mosale silk. Yeah, this is all that I have so far. You can kind of tell it's like half a snowman right there. I have this as an extra floss to maybe use for finishing, and I'm currently stitching this with Mosale silk in the colorway Rainbow Set 17. It's this really nice variegated pink. I'm enjoying stitching on that so far. Okay, the next one is stitched on a green art hanger fabric. I am stitching 1/1 with a Mosale silk black floss. It's It's not variegated, it's a pretty monotone color, and this is as far as I've gotten with this. And I also have a green floss to maybe use for finishing. So that's where we're at with this one. The next one I have is a 28 count linen in the colorway Tiger Lily, dyed by Black Cauldron Dye Works. I really like their fabrics. I've stitched on some of it already. So if you want to look them up and maybe see what they have, this is a beautiful fabric. I'm stitching on it. There it is. What am I doing on this? Am I doing? It looks like I'm doing 2/2. I've done 2 motifs so far. I may even started the third one. So enjoying stitching on that. I have a flower pin. Oh yeah, and I'm using a Mosaic silk spool in the color Coffee Beans. So we have that. And then this should be my last WIP. This is a 32, maybe 36, might be a 32 count fabric, maybe 36, maybe it's 36. I seem to be stitching at 1/2, and I'm using Mosaic silk in the colorway Poolside for that, and I just have this much stitched so far. And I have an additional blue fiber if I want to use it for finishing. And I mentioned I did dye this myself. Okay. And I think that's it. That's the last one. Just making sure there's not anything that looks like I could have potentially forgotten to show it. I believe that is everything. So those are all my WIPs. If you were counting, I believe we're tallied up at 27. I'm trying to cap myself at 25 WIPs. Like I said, my Festival Fruit Frat is definitely done, is technically a finish. But I'm still doing some of the back stitching to like stitch some words to finish into a little pillow. So I'm just keeping it on my list for now. And then I recently started the Woodland Winter Sow, kind of a spur of the moment, and I'm getting, it seems like I'm getting towards the end of the Friendship Retreat Sow that we're doing with the Noblest Part chart. And currently, once those drop off, I'll be closer to staying within that 25 WIP number. And as soon as I start finishing some of the secret stitches and some of the gift stitching I've started, I think I started several fronts for my dad, so that's another gift stitch. When I get some of that dropped off my plate, then I'll be able to focus more on my full coverage and some of the other things that I want to work on. So which one of those were your favorite? How many WIPs do you know that you have brought into 2024? Have you counted how many WIPs you currently have? Is it a bigger number? Is it a smaller number? Do you even count how many WIPs you have, or you just start whatever calls you at the moment? Let me know. Drop a comment below. And if you enjoyed what you saw and you'd be interested in seeing more videos, please feel free to subscribe and like the video. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye.